Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Bhagavad-Gita as it is, chapter 16, texts 1 to 3. And we can do, I'll read the first two verses, then you can chant the third verse responsively. Aviyam Sattva Sadhudir Jnana Vijnanastita Dhamma Dhammascha Yagyascha Swadam Yastatpa Arjanam Ahimsam Satyam Akrahas Teja Satyar Abhasunam Daya Bhuteshu Alam Luptvam Mandavam here Achalapam. And now you can repeat. Last line. Page 647. Those who have book. Tejasamadrishta suksham Adroho Vita Manita Bhavanti Sampadam Daivam Abhijantasya Bharata. I'm just going to read the translation purport. Translation. Supreme Personality God had said, fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault-finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgivingness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and from the passion for honor. These transcendental qualities of Sanabhata belong to the godly men, endowed with divine nature. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Vishnu Krishna Star Bhuvai Srimati Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Purvani Pachani Navasesha Sunyavadi Paskachadista Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivastava Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. This is long purport. I will only read 1.5 pages. It's 4 or 5 page purport. Translation. Supreme Personality God said, fearlessness. No, I read that already. Read the purport. In the beginning of the 15th chapter, the banyan tree of this material world was explained. The extra roots coming out of it was compared to the activities of living entity, some auspicious, some inauspicious. In the 9th chapter, although the devas or demigods, and asuras, ungodly or demons, were explained. Now, according to the rich Vedic rites, activities in the mode of goodness are considered auspicious for progress on the path of liberation. Such activities are known as Daivi Prakriti, transcendental by nature. Those who are situated in the transcendental nature make progress on the path for liberation. For those who are acting in the mode of passion and ignorance, on the other hand, there is no possibility of liberation. Either they will have to remain in this material world as human beings, or they will descend among the species of animals or even lower life forms. In this 16th chapter, the Lord explains both the transcendental nature and its attendant qualities, and the demonic nature and its qualities. He also explains the advantage and disadvantage of these qualities. You can't make his fan a little faster. Can everybody understand? Are you clear? Are you clear? That is chapter 16, divine and demoniac natures. In text 1 through 9 deal with the transcendental and divine qualities. So this is 1 through 6, then 1 through 3, and then 4 to 9 deal with divine qualities. And the rest of the chapter deals with demoniac qualities. So Krishna spends more time speaking about the demoniac qualities than about godly qualities. 16th chapter. Those who possess demoniac qualities live whimsically without following the regulations of Scripture, attain lower births and further material bondage. But those who possess divine qualities and live regulated lives, abiding by scriptural authorities, gradually attain spiritual perfection. Here we're talking about the banyan tree in the 15th chapter. It says in the 15th chapter that the banyan tree, which has roots upwards, branches down, leaves are the vacuums. One who knows this tree is a knower of the Vedas. And it also says that the branches of this tree extend upward and downward, and the leaves are the Vedic hymns. This tree also has roots going down, bound by the fruitive activities of human society. This is what's being described here. Karma, the fruit of activities, the action-reaction of living entities, are the root of this banyan tree which keeps the living entity bound up in the material world. So, whether you perform pious activities or impious activities, it doesn't get you out of the material world. And King Nariga was a very charitable king. He gave as many cows as dust on the earth, stars in the sky, and drops of water in a rain cloud. But one day he gave cows to one Brahmin. The Brahmin went away. Then he gave another group of cows to another Brahmin, and then he went away. But unknowingly, one cow from the first group wandered into the second group, and he gave he gave the same cow twice. So the Brahmins were very disturbed, and they went to King Nariga and said, "This is improper. You gave me that property, then you took it back and gave it to someone else. This is considered sinful to take the property of a Brahmin, or give that to someone else, or keep it for yourself." So King Nariga said, "Okay, I'll give you each 100,000 cows, and then to settle the matter." They said, "No, well, we don't agree to that," and they went away angry. So when King Nariga had performed so many pious activities, but they had not performed pure devotional service, so at the time of death he had to go to Yamaraj. And Yamaraj asked him, "Do you want to suffer for your sinful activities first, or enjoy your pious activities first?" So King Nariga became a little absent-minded and said, "Well, I might have to suffer for a short time, and then I can enjoy it for a long time. So let me suffer first." So it's okay. He became a lizard in a well. And that's not a very comfortable situation. So in the Yadu dynasty, the boys of the Yadu dynasty were playing in the forest. They came thirsty. They went to the well to drink water. But when they looked down, they didn't see any water. All they saw was this lizard. And they couldn't get the lizard. They tried to get him out of the well. The lizard was stuck in the well. But somehow the well was too deep or whatever. They couldn't get the lizard out. So they went to their Lord Krishna in Dwarka and told him about this. So Krishna went there to the well and stuck his left hand in the well and pulled the lizard out. And being touched by the Lord, immediately got the body of a beautiful demigod. So Krishna asked him how he became a lizard in the well. He explained the story. So it's not by pious or impious activities why do I not become Krishna conscious to get out of the material world. Many people think giving in charity, it's a good thing, that will be good for me. They give some donation, or they give some flowers or boga, fruit or something, but that's not enough to qualify one to get liberated from the material world. Anyabi lasita sunyam jnana karma avitam anukunani krishna no bhakti uttamam. So this definition is the definition given by Rupa Goswami in the nectar of devotion. Pure devotional service must be karma and gyan, free from karma and gyan, only bhakti. And here it says in the 9th chapter, talks about the godly qualities. Mana manastu mam parta daivim prakritim ashritaha ajanti anya manaso gyadva mat bhutadim avayam. O son of Partha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. And the other verse, I read the verse before that, says, those who are thus bewildered are attracted by demoniac and atheistic views, and that deluded condition, their hope for liberation, the fruit of activities, and the cultivation of knowledge are all defeated. The demoniac, atheistic views is what is being talked about here. There's the divine qualities and demoniac qualities. The devas, the demigods, have divine qualities, and the demigods are all devotees of Krishna, but they're not pure devotees, they're mixed devotees. Even in the class, we heard Lord Brahma. Sometimes Brahma is not a pure devotee, and he has to come back. But sometimes he is a pure devotee, and after his life, he goes back to Godhead. So, yeah, our choice, whether you want to be a godly person or whether you want to be a demigod or a demon. We have that free will. And the people who are demoniac, they don't know what is to be done and what is not to be done, and engage in unclean, horrible works meant to destroy the world. Just like today, they've invented the atomic bomb, which is a ghastly weapon. And not only does it destroy so many things, but also puts out radiation which will kill many people after the bomb has been exploded. So this is a demoniac invention. Although they're proud of it. In World War II, they dropped two of these bombs in Japan. Stopped the Japanese from attacking. So, atomic weapons. They have these atomic weapons. Prabhupada says that one day they're going to use them. Like you give a child a toy and you tell them not to play with it. Sooner or later, the child is going to play with it. So all over the world they have atomic weapons. So sooner or later they're going to start using them. And we know in North Korea they wanted to send atomic weapons. They wanted to bomb America. Somehow they made peace settlement. So these are called Sampada Daivim. 26 qualities of a devotee are being described here. And by performing divine activities in the mode of goodness, one becomes transcendental to material modes of nature and can free himself from the modes of material nature, go back to Godhead. This is the process of liberation. There's Nivritti Marg and Privritti Marg, two paths. Nivritti Marg, it's like a child. A child doesn't want to go to school, but if the parents know that it'll be good for him if he goes to school, gets an education, it'll be good for him. The child wants to play, but that's only temporary, will not help him. Going to school will help him, so he goes to school anyway. So that's Nivritti Marg. Pravritti Marg, Nivritti Marg. Either enjoying sense gratification or on the path of liberation. Those in this Krishna conscious movement are trying to purify ourselves so that we don't have to take birth again in this material world. Kaya lama shashvatam, place of misery and suffering where repeated birth and death take place. So the mode, on the mode of goodness, you can progress to the mode of pure goodness. And we are fortunate that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came 500 years ago, introduced the Sankirtan movement. Harinam, 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 Eva Kevalo, Kalun Stevanas, Nastevas, Nasteva Gatiranyata. Said by chanting his holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This will get one out of the material world if you can chant the purely, without offense. There's 10 offenses to the holy name. If you can chant without offense, even one time, you become the best of all human beings, and you get free from unlimited sinful activities just by chanting the holy name. So it's a concession for this age. In other ages, Yuga Dharma was different. In Satya Yuga, it was meditation. That was difficult to perform. In the Treta Yuga, it was sacrifice, and that required costly paraphernalia, gold, and required qualified Brahmins to recite the mantras properly. Closed Sutra Sambhava. But in this age, there are no qualified Brahmins, and there are no one has the paraphernalia to perform sacrifice properly. So Yagna Sankirtan Prayeri Jantihi Sumedashaha. In this age of Kali Yuga, the only sacrifice is the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. This is a concession given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he descended in this material world 500 years ago. He, for a short time, he was a boy known as Nimai Pandit, and he was a very scholarly person. And he would argue with people and defeat them. And sometimes he would defeat their arguments and give his own arguments. Then he'd defeat his own arguments and give another explanation. So that people didn't know who Nimai Pandit was. They just thought he was a proud Pandit, proud scholar. But when Lord Chaitanya went to Gaya, met Ishvara Puri, saw the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, he had a change of heart. And when he came back, he inaugurated his Sankirtan movement, and started exhibiting ecstatic symptoms, and as a pure devotee of Krishna. So much so that people thought he was, Mother Sachi couldn't understand his mood, his ecstatic symptoms. So the people advised her that they should bind his hands and legs and rub Vishnu oil on his head and give him green coconut water to drink. He thought he had a wind disorder. But then Srivas Pandit came to see Lord Chaitanya and saw the ecstatic symptoms, and he told Mother Sachi, you don't have to worry. There's not a disease. Your son is not mentally deranged. He has the qualities of ecstatic love for Krishna. And Srivas says that I also desire to be a madman like him. So this is the beginning of the Sankirtan movement, and it's more this is described in Chaitanya Bhagavat and Chaitanya Charitamrita. So these transcendental qualities, and there are transcendental qualities and demoniac qualities. The transcendental qualities are being described here first, and in the next verse, and then Krishna tells Arjuna that he says that you don't need to worry, that you are endowed with these transcendental qualities. And of the five Pandavas, the Arjuna was, Krishna says, the transcendental qualities are conducted for liberation, whereas demonic qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you are born with divine qualities. So of the five Pandavas, Arjuna was not really, they all had divine qualities, but Arjuna was specially empowered. He was a Shaktavesh avatar. He was a Jiva, empowered Jiva, expansion of Narayan Rishi, Narayan. So Arjuna was especially empowered with God, all these divine qualities, and all the Pandavas were born from different demigods and had divine qualities, but Duryodhana company was envious of the Pandavas, and even in their child, he was trying to kill them in so many ways. Even in the beginning, when they were children, he administered a poison cake, which Bhima ate, and fell unconscious. So the other four Pandavas went back to the city, and Bhima didn't come back. And what happened was, Bhima fell unconscious, and they threw him in a lake or river, and he fell to the bottom, and the fish at the bottom of that water bit Bhima and counteracted the poison. And then for 3 days Bhima was given some elixir, something to revive his energy, and he came back again and joined the Pandavas. So in this way, Duryodhana was envious of the Pandavas because of their beauty, because of their strength, and he tried to kill them. He gave them poison, put them in a house of black, and put them in Durvasa Muni to kill them. He sent demons to kill them. So many things he did, but he was unable to do so because they were all under the protection of Krishna's devotees. So they all had divine qualities. And if someone has divine qualities, we should not be envious. The first offense to the holy name is to blaspheme the devotee or criticize the devotee, the Lord, who's engaged in chanting the holy name and spreading the holy name all over the world. So Duryodhana and his 100 brothers, plus their father Dhritarashtra, had demoniac qualities. Therefore, they committed Vaishnava aparad. Even when Dhritarashtra quit home, he went to the forest, practiced yoga, and controlled his senses, got liberated. But in the purport, Prabhupada says he didn't go to Vaikuntha. He went to the Brahma Yoti because of his offenses to the Pandavas. So in this way, we should try to develop these qualities, 26 qualities. There's also 50 qualities mentioned in the Nectar of Devotion. So you can gradually develop these qualities by performing devotional service. But again, we only have 50 qualities, and the demigods have 55, and then the expansions of Krishna's incarnations, Vishnu Tattva expansions have 60 qualities, and Krishna has 64 qualities, which is he has a beautiful bodily form, he plays on his flute, he has his pastimes, and one more. Anyway, there's 4 qualities that Krishna has that no one else has to prove that he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah, he can liberate. Whoever he kills, he gives liberation to. So, these are 64. 4 qualities that Krishna has that none of the other expansions have. This way, these qualities are there in the living entity, 50 qualities in full, but they're not manifest until you become a pure devotee in pure goodness. Otherwise, they don't all manifest at one time. And as long as we're entangled in the modes of material nature, there's always a chance of having demoniac qualities, because there's always a battle going on between the modes of material nature. Sometimes the mode of goodness is prominent, sometimes the mode of passion is prominent, and sometimes the mode of ignorance is prominent. So in this way, the modes of nature are acting upon us in different ways. But if someone becomes a pure devotee, comes under the influence of Yoga Maya, not Mahamaya, then the modes of nature cannot affect him. But as long as we're under the influence of Mahamaya, then then the modes will affect us. But again, everything's there in chanting the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So if we chant 64 rounds, 16 rounds every day, without offense, then we'll gradually become detached from the mode of passion and ignorance and come to the mode of goodness and finally pure goodness. So it says here, the word Abhijatasya, in reference to one born of transcendental qualities or godly tendency, is very significant. To beget a child in the godly atmosphere is known in the Vedic system, Vedic scriptures, as Garbhadan Samskara. If the parents want a child in the godly quality, they should follow the 10 principles recommended for the social life of human beings. In Bhagavad-Gita, we should study also before, we have studied also before that sex life, if we're getting a good child, is Krishna himself. Sex life is not condemned, provided the process is used in Krishna consciousness. Those who are in Krishna consciousness at least should not beget children like cats and dogs, but should beget them so they may become Krishna conscious after birth. That should be the advantage of children born of a father and mother absorbed in Krishna consciousness. So what does Krishna say in Bhagavad-Gita? He says, I am sex life. Balam balam chaham kamraga vivarjitam dharma virudo bhuteshu kamosmin vartar sahaba. I am the strength of the strong, devoid of passion, desire. I am sex life, which is not contrary to religious principles. And also, Lord Vrindavan in the Srimad Bhagavatam says one who cannot deliver his dependence from the path of repeated birth and death should never become a spiritual master, a father, a husband, a mother, or a worshipful demigod. So one time when the Maharaj Yudhishthira wanted to perform the Rajasuya sacrifice, so he had to get the permission of all the kings of the world, sovereignty. He had gained sovereignty over all the kings in the world. So all the kings in the world were agreeable, except for Jarasandha. So Jarasandha was a big demon. He had attacked the city of Mathura 17 times, and each time he was defeated by Krishna, and his advisors told him it was just bad luck, to try again. So no one could defeat Jarasandha single-handedly. He had the strength of 10,000 elephants. So Krishna asked Uddhava what he should do. Uddhava was the advisor to Krishna. He told him that he should go to Dwarka, the Pandavas, with his entourage. The whole Yadav dynasty went to Dwarka, and they devised a plan to kill Jarasandha. Bhima, Arjuna, and who was the third person? Bhima, Arjuna, and Krishna. Bhima, Arjuna, and Krishna, dressed as Brahmins, dressed himself up looking like Brahmins, and went to Jarasandha to beg some charity. And Jarasandha was charitably disposed to Brahmins, even though he was a demon. So he couldn't recognize them, couldn't recognize Krishna, Arjuna, and Bhima. They looked familiar to him, and he knew they weren't Brahmins because they had strongly built bodies and grave voices. They didn't appear to be like Brahmins. Anyway, because they came and asked for charity, he said, okay, I'll give you whatever charity you want. Even if you want my own life, my body, I'll give you that. They said, no. We came for one purpose. We want to beg a duel with you. So Jarasandha, he laughed very hard at hearing this. And then they revealed their identity. So Bhima, Jarasandha said, I can't fight with Krishna because Krishna's a coward. When I attacked the city of Mathura for the 18th time, Krishna took shelter of the sea. He ran away. So I won't fight with Krishna. And I won't fight with Arjuna because he's not of equal strength to me. But I'll fight with Bhima. So the fighting was by hand. In those days, they had a special place, arena, where they could fight. So they went out of the city, and Bhima and Arjuna fought together with Jarasandha for 28 days, non-stop. But Bhima admitted to Krishna that he couldn't defeat Jarasandha. But Krishna knew the secret of how Jarasandha took birth. He was born of two mothers and had two halves. And the king saw the two halves, he threw them in the forest. And this witch, whose name was Jara, she had the power, mystic power, to join the two halves together and bring the child, make the child alive again. So this is the history of Jarasandha. So Krishna, when Bhima was fighting with Arjuna on the last day, Krishna indicated to him by taking a twig from a tree and splitting it apart, indicated to Bhima how to kill Jarasandha. And Krishna entered the body of Bhima and empowered him to kill Jarasandha. So he put his foot on one of Jarasandha's legs and he pulled him up and split him in two. And that was the end of Jarasandha. Then Krishna went to liberate, because Jarasandha had in prison 20,800 kings. And when he liberated those kings, he had to revive them, put them back to health, give them new clothes, everything. They were in a very bad condition. And then Krishna told them that you go back to your kingdoms, stay Krishna consciousness, and don't have children out of illicit children, don't have illicit sex anymore. So this is what 4 regulated principles. He said we shouldn't, no meeting, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex. And Krishna told the kings not to have sex for sense gratification. It says in the 9th canto, the king can have sex. If a lady comes to the king and asks him for a child at the proper time, the king can't refuse as a woman. He can give her a child. He can have sex with the child one time. It's not considered illicit sex. So in the same way, when people get married, they can have sex life only one time, once a month, at the proper time, to beget God-conscious children, not otherwise. It's a misdemeanor or a misunderstanding that householders can have as much sex life as they want. It's not our philosophy. anyone who's initiated has promised no illicit sex. So you can't have sex as much as you want when you get married. People think that I'm only having sex with my wife, so it's okay. But that's not the injunction. Krishna said, sex life according to religious principles, which means sex life once a month at the time when the woman is most fertile, when there'll be good chance that a child will be born, and not otherwise. So, household life may look very nice. Brahmachari may think that being a householder is a better life than being a brahmachari, but you can put the pot of ghee on the fire. You can't expect it not to melt. So the agitation will be there for sex life. So the householder has to control his senses even more than the brahmachari. It's easier for a brahmachari to control his senses than the householder. So the householder should follow this principle once a month only for begetting God-conscious children, not otherwise. And Bhakti-yoga said that he would have had 100 children if he could make them all Krishna consciousness, Krishna conscious. So, and it says in the 9th canto that one should not sit alone with one's mother, sister, or daughter, because even in intelligent the senses can be disturbed at any time. So the householder also has to live a controlled life, has to control his senses. Can't let his senses get out of control. It's very difficult. So I'm going to finish this purport. This part of the purport. The Varnashram institution, a sannyasi, a person in an altered life is considered to be the head of spiritual master of all social status and order. A brahmachari is considered, a brahmin is considered to be the spiritual master of the three other sections of society, namely the Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Sudras. But a sannyasi who's on top of the institution is considered to be the spiritual master of the Brahmins also. For a sannyasi, the first qualification should be fearlessness, because a sannyasi has to be alone without any support or guarantee from anyone. He has simply to depend on the mercy of the Supreme Personality Godhead. One thinks, after I have leave my connection, who will protect me, should not accept the renounced order of life. One must be fully convinced that Krishna, or the Supreme Personality Godhead, his localized aspect as Paramatma, is always within, that he's seeing everything and he always knows what one's intended to do. One must thus have firm conviction that Krishna is Paramatma, will take care of his soul, surrender to him. I should never be alone. One should think, even if I live in the darkest region of a forest, I should be accompanied by Krishna and will give me all protection. This conviction is called abhayam, fearlessness. This state of mind is never necessary for a person in renounced order of life. So Srila Prabhupada was in household life until 1953. He took Vanapras, left his household life. Then his spiritual master came to him in a dream and told him to take sannyas. And Prabhupada was not prepared to take sannyas at that time. On the second time, Prabhupada's spiritual master came in a dream, told him to take sannyas. And also Prabhupada's godbrothers told him he should take sannyas. So finally, in 1959, at the Keshava Gaudiya Math, on Vishnu Mahotsava, which is coming up soon, the end of this month, one month of September, Prabhupada took sannyas at the Keshav Gaudiya Math in Mathura. And Prabhupada showed how to become fearless. He decided at the age of 70 to go to the West, go to America, and preach Krishna consciousness with no supporters, no money, no place to stay. He didn't know whether there was going to be anything to eat or not. Prabhupada simply depended on Krishna and took that risk for spreading Krishna consciousness. And his name, Abai means fearless. So Prabhupada was fearless. Prabhupada said even as a child, he was fearless. At one time they were constructing a building and Prabhupada climbed up to the top of the building and somehow, and he was fearless. So it's not so easy to be fearless, especially if you have to go to the forest. Dhruva Maharaj, 5-year-old boy, he was fearless. He went to the forest. Narada Muni told him, this is dangerous here in the forest. You're only a 5-year-old boy, you should go home and wait till you grow up. But Dhruva Maharaj rejected that instruction. He wanted to take revenge on his stepmother and get a kingdom greater than his grandfather, Lord Brahma. So he fearlessly went to the forest. And same thing in Narada Muni, 5-year-old boy. His mother died of a snake, was bitten by a snake and died when he was 5 years old. So he left the ashram and started traveling through the forests and jungles until he came to a proper place to meditate. So he was also fearless. But it is a very fearful condition when you're in a dark place. Even if you're not in the forest, even in a dark room, if you can't see anything, it's fearful. But to be in the forest and it's dark, and there's so many wild animals that can come and eat you, or so many things can happen to you. But if you're fearless, then you will not be disturbed. And because the Paramatma is in the heart, when Lord Chaitanya was in the forest, he saw a tiger lying on the path, and he went up and kicked the tiger and told him to chant Hare Krishna. And the tiger immediately got up and started chanting. In this way, Mahaprabhu traveled through the forest and converted all the animals, made them Krishna consciousness. When a group of maddened elephants were coming to the river where Lord Chaitanya was to bathe, Lord Chaitanya splashed water on them and told them to chant Hare Krishna. And immediately he started chanting Hare Krishna. So also Lord Chaitanya exhibited how to be fearless. And for the pure devotee, the super soul tells the animals not to attack the pure devotees. And so in this way, the Paramatma is there to protect the devotee, if someone's a pure devotee, in all circumstances. So we've covered these things, the banyan tree, we cover these different qualities. Tomorrow they'll go on with the other qualities. Main qualities were fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of knowledge, self-control, and so the main quality was fearlessness. And the householder also has a responsibility to give in charity, to distribute food in charity, and to perform different kinds of sacrifices. So in this way, there are many things to be said about these purports. Prabhupada wrote Bhagavad-Gita as it is and gave so many nice purports to explain the different verses to help people become Krishna conscious. So I'll stop there. Any comments or questions? Wait, talk in the microphone. How can I hear you? You have to talk in the microphone.
Microphone is not there.
What?
They don't have microphone here. Guru Maharaj went to forest fearlessly. For 6 months he was...
There's no microphone?
No, it's not there. For 6 months he was there in forest.
Yeah, 6 months, Guru Maharaj went to the forest.
But within 6 months no animal came to him, no forest animal came to disturb him.
Right.
He was a pure devotee. He was a pure devotee, that's why no
Right.
animal came to him. But
And so the yogi goes to the forest and sit on a hard place, sit down on a deer skin, so no snakes will come.
But how about Narada Muni's mother? She was serving Vaishnavas, she was also doing so many things, and how a snake came and bite her.
What?
Narada Muni's mother, she was serving the sages, and how the snake came and bite her and she was died. Narada Muni's mother.
Who was his brother?
Narada Muni's mother, she was serving sages.
Yeah.
Then how she was bitten by snake when Dhruva Maharaj was not bitten by anything but she was bitten by snake. So can you give some...
He wants to know how Narada Muni's mother was bitten by a snake. Well, you have to ask the snake.
That's why the snake.
You have to ask the snake.
Where can we find the snake?
His mother was not in the forest, and she didn't go to the forest, and she wasn't a pure devotee.
But she was serving a pure devotees. No?
Yeah, so
So when you serve pure devotees, you get...
anyway, it was the will of Providence, so Narada Muni can become a pure devotee. That's all I can say. Yeah, I don't know. Snake can come anytime and bite anyone. That's their nature. Envious by nature. Narada Muni had a snake for cobra for a disciple. The children knew he wouldn't bite anyone because Narada Muni told him don't bite anyone. So the children were making fun of the snake and throwing rocks at him. So Narada Muni said, you don't have to bite anyone, just show your hood like you're going to bite someone.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Glory to Prabhupada.